Hello my dear students, welcome back once again. So in our previous class we have done two derivations, one expression for the electric field along the axial line, another one electric expression for the electric field along the equatorial plane. Now in today's class, just recall once again the expression what we got was first one for axial line was this one, and then for the equatorial line, equatorial plane, this was the expression. If suppose R is greater than A, if R is greater than A, then I can write E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p divided by R is greater than A, so we can nullify A. R square minus A square is nothing but R square the whole square into P cap, or else I can write one more R, correct? So I can write E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p R by R to the power 4 into P cap. 1 R and this one will get cancelled. What is remaining? E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p divided by R cube into P cap. This is the expression we get for this one if R is greater than A. For this expression, in this derivation also, if R is greater than A, then this expression will become E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square plus A square. Instead of A square, now only R square remains. Even though you add small value for a bigger number, it will not change. So R square to the power 3 by 2 into P cap square, and this one will get cancelled. So E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R cube into P cap. This is the expression what we get. What is changes here? 2p, correct? So we get this one here as 2p, or I can write it as here 2p. So now look here, this is for this one. Even if wherever it is, even whether it is in the equatorial or in the axial, if R is greater than A, see here, compare here, expression for both is same. That is nothing but if R is greater than A means separation between the dipole is very less compared to the point where we are going to find the electric field. Then the expression along the equatorial or in the along the axial line, it is one and the same, no changes. Therefore E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by R cube. Everywhere epsilon naught is nothing but permittivity of free space. So don't forget this concept is important for your JEE and NEET purpose. These formulas will be useful. The derivations which we have completed, that is along the axial line and equatorial plane, both are important for 5 marks. It can be asked for the exam for 5 marks. Very important. The next concept what we are moving for is, we are going to find the expression for the torque. Expression for the torque acting on a dipole in an electric field. Torque acting on a dipole in an electric field. So for this, again we have to consider a dipole. So let us consider a dipole plus q and minus q. Okay, separated by a distance 2a. Let us place this dipole in an uniform electric field. Let this be the direction of the electric field. So we have considered a permanent dipoles, that is plus q and minus q, separated by the distance 2a in a uniform electric field. Okay, this is the electric field. So I can say like this, correct? When the electric field is present, there will be a force acting on these two charges, because there is a relationship between electric field and the force, that is E is equal to, or F is equal to QE, E is equal to F by Q. So therefore there is a relation. Therefore force acting on the charge plus QE due to the electric field E is F vector is equal to E into Q. F vector is equal to E into Q. Due to the minus Q charge, the force acting on this minus Q charge is like this, or else, see here carefully. Okay. F vector is equal to minus E vector into Q. Total electric field is only the external electric field we are talking about here, that is A vector. Uniform electric field is acting. There is some angle between this. So one force is acting like this, another force is pulling up, therefore it will try to rotate. What do you say? It will try to rotate. There comes nothing but torque. When the torque exists, when the things rotate, we don't call it there a force exists, we call a torque exists. So therefore, because of the external electric field, force will be acting on the charges what we have placed here, that is dipole charges, and the force acting on the plus q is this one, and force acting on the minus q is this one. Therefore it will be in the equal and opposite direction, then it will start rotating. Therefore I can say torque is acting on this body, that is tau is equal to, what is nothing, torque is nothing but force into perpendicular distance, correct? Force into perpendicular distance. So torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. What is the expression for the force? Force is nothing but E into Q. Perpendicular distance is this one from here to here. What is this? Can we find this perpendicular distance? Yes, we can find. But how? Let us mark this as A, B and C. I want to know what is this perpendicular distance. So into BC. Correct? Can we try and find out? Yes. Any angle I can say here. Sin theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. So can I write sin theta is equal to opposite BC divided by AC. That is equal to BC divided by 2A. Therefore I can say BC is equal to 2A sin theta. And hence I can write expression for the torque as tau is equal to E Q 2A sin theta. What about this torque, whether it is a vector quantity or a scalar quantity? It is a vector quantity. So if I put the tau as a vector, then I have to write somewhere the vector term, no? So how can I write? Which letter I should use? Right. Correct? So therefore I'll get tau vector is equal to E vector into Q into 2A sin theta, or else I can write tau vector is equal to E vector into P into sin theta, because 2AQ is equal to P. Or else I can write tau vector is equal to P cross E vector, because don't you remember your first year concept? That is nothing but what is that? Nothing but A cross B vector is equal to AB sin theta. Therefore I can say E cross EP sin theta is nothing but P cross E sin theta. This is the expression for the, or tau is equal to P E sin theta. No need of putting here vector only. Direct you can write. Nowhere you will go wrong. Nowhere you will get confused. Write directly till here. Then finally you write it in this format. Then that is very easy for you. That is tau vector is equal to P vector cross E vector. This is a very easy one. If you start from here without, don't put anywhere, no need of putting this vector symbol only. If you, because we may fail somewhere, we will stop. So what we will do is, we will just draw this diagram. Then we will write like this, continue, and after reaching here, write it in the vector form. That will be easy. Or else, if you write like this with the vector form, we will have to write one P cap. That's all. So this is nothing but the expression. If you, suppose, like previous one, if you have already put the vector form here and here also, then here what you have to do is tau vector, E vector into P cap you have to write. That's all. So if you forget, don't write at the end. It will be very, very easy. We have considered a dipole separated by the distance 2a. Let us place this dipole in an uniform electric field, which, because of the electric field, the force acting on the charge plus q is EQ, and because of on this minus q charge is minus E vector into Q. Therefore, this is pulling downwards, this is pulling upwards, equal and opposite in direction. Therefore, it will start rotating. The force is nothing but, now it is nothing but torque. So, torque is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance is nothing but BC here. So, therefore, E into Q into BC. Therefore, sin theta is equal to BC by AC from this triangle diagram. So therefore I can say AC is nothing but 2A, BC is equal to 2A sin theta. Tau is equal to EQ 2A sin theta. Tau is equal to 2AQ is nothing but P. Therefore tau is equal to EP sin theta. Tau vector is equal to P cross E, or P vector cross E vector. This is very, very important. One more very important derivation for 3 marks. 3 marks derivation this one is. Okay. Then the next concept. This itself a small changes. We have to consider the conditions. What happens? First one. Uniform electric field is present. And theta in our diagram, she is not equal to 0. Then if theta is not equal to 0, there is some force acting according to our earlier diagram. See, theta was there. Theta was not equal to 0, correct? So therefore, I can say theta is not equal to 0. what about the force acting on the body? Total force, net force acting because of the plus q and minus q. Total force is 0. If you add the force, it is 0 because it is equal and opposite in direction. Therefore, I can say force acting on the body is 0, but torque is not equal to 0. There is a torque acting on the body, that is P cross E. Understood? So, in a uniform electric field, if theta is not equal to 0, then force is not equal to 0. Then I can say tau is not equal to, force is equal to 0, but tau is not equal to 0. Different conditions are there, very important for your MCQs. Next concept, if uniform electric field is present, we will change this. Instead of theta is not equal to 0, if we put theta is equal to 0 or 180 degree, what happens to the force? Theta is equal to 0 or 180. What happens to the force? If theta is equal to 180, then or 0, suppose theta is equal to 0 degree. Uniform electric field is present. Okay. Theta is equal to 0. What about the force? Uniform electric field is present. Force is equal to 0. Force acting on the body is 0. What about the torque? Tau. What about the torque acting on the body? Torque acting on the body is nothing but parallel. It is parallel. Electric field is here, then it is parallel. See here, one is here, another one is here. Plus q, minus q. If the direction of the electric field is like this, what about the dipole is like this? If the dipole and this one are in the same direction, then I can say that is theta is equal to 0 and the tau is equal to what? If theta is equal to 0, tau is equal to what? Sin 0, 0, tau is equal to 0. See here, tau is equal to Pe sin theta. Sin 0, 0. What is dipole? Dipole is like this. Why? Because dipole is acting from minus to plus q, parallel. This direction and this direction are same. Theta is equal to 0, sin 0, 0, tau is equal to Pe sin 0, 0, Pe into 0 is 0, tau is equal to 0. If theta is equal to 180 degree, electric field is uniform, our dipole is here like this. If this is minus q and this is plus q, then dipole is acting from minus to plus like this. Electric field and this one is opposite in direction. So therefore, I can say if they are opposite in direction, then I can say what? Sine opposite in direction if you consider, then it will become sine of that one is what? What is the answer for that? What do you say? What do you say? Here also net force is 0, tau is also 0 because sine 180 is 0. So in this condition, theta is equal to 0 or 180, f is equal to 0 and tau is also equal to 0. Maybe parallel, electric field and dipole are parallel or anti-parallel. Electric fields you have to know. So what was the earlier condition? Earlier condition was what? Just recall, if theta is equal to 0 or theta is not equal to 0, f is equal to 0, but tau is not equal to 0. Second condition, uniform electric field itself, but theta is equal to 0 or 180 and F is equal to 0 because electric field is uniform, but tau is not equal to 0 alla. It is not, tau is not equal to 0 for the earlier case, but here tau is equal to 0. See the difference, you should know, for z equal to 0 or not equal to 0. Next condition, if the electric field is not uniform, non-uniform electric field, then what happens? If it is a not uniform electric field, same condition, repeat it. If it is not uniform, what happens? If it is a not uniform electric field, then if theta, first one you'll see, theta is not equal to 0, then whether force is equal to 0. If theta is not equal to 0, there is no relation for the force. Force is depending upon the electric field. Electric field is uniform, means equal and opposite in direction it will pull. Now it is not uniform, so it is not equal to 0. What about the tau? Torque, whether torque is equal to 0? Whether torque is equal to 0 or not equal to 0? Whether torque is equal to 0 or not equal to 0? It is also not equal to 0. Why? Tau is equal to PE or P cross E sin theta. Here this is not uniform, it varies. So you can say tau is not equal to 0. One more condition, if theta is equal to 0 or 180, what happens? Try to solve. If theta is equal to 0 or 180, what about the force? Force is not equal to 0. Why? Because electric field is not uniform. What about the torque? What about the torque? What is the value of the torque? Tau is equal to 0 or not equal to 0? What happened to the torque? Torque is equal to 0 because theta is equal to 0 or 180. Theta is equal to 0 means sin 0, 0. So therefore, tau is equal to PE into 0, that is 0. Therefore, I can say if theta is equal to 0 or 180, their force is not equal to 0, but here force is equal to 0. This remains same. These conditions very important for a multiple choice. You should know it for 1 mark. Very important. Conditions. Uniform electric field. For theta is not equal to 0, then force is, wherever you see uniform electric field, then you say force is 0. If the electric field is not uniform, put force is not equal to 0. Then the torque, tau. If theta is, what value they give? Theta. If theta is 0 or 180, theta is 0 means sin 0, 0. Sin 180 is 0. So therefore directly you can write tau is equal to 0. If theta is not equal to 0 or 180, then it is not equal to 0. One more question. What happens? It is uniform electric field itself. But theta is equal to 90 degree. Now what is the case? F is equal to 0 because uniform. Okay. What about the tau? What happens to the tau? If theta is equal to 90 degree, tau is equal to, we know the expression, tau is equal to PE sin theta. Theta is 90, that is 1, sin 91. So therefore I can say tau is equal to PE, maximum value. Correct? So what happens to the value of tau? What happens to the value of tau? Maximum value I can write, that is PE. Understood? The value of tau is P cross E, PE, because cross if you put, you have to write about sine theta. Here sine is 90 degrees, sine 90 is 1, therefore tau is equal to PE. Maximum value we will get. Here if you consider, here for this case, non-uniform, theta is equal to 90 degree. If since it is non-uniform, f is not equal to 0, and tau, this is depending upon, this is also PE, but it depends upon the value of E. E is a variable, it is not uniform, so this will vary every time. Here it is not, this is not varying, it is constant, so therefore tau is equal to PE, maximum torque acting on that body. The next concept what we have to move for is Gauss law. But before moving to the concept of the Gauss law, we have to move towards the concept. You have already finished. We have done the continuous charge distribution concept. Do you remember? Surface charge density, linear charge density, volume charge density. What are those? Can you remind it? What are those? What do you mean by surface charge density or linear charge density? Linear charge density is nothing but from the word linear itself we'll come to know it is something related to length. If L is the length of the conductor and if n number of charges are present inside this, okay, then what is linear charge density? It is nothing but charge per unit length. Linear charge density is nothing but charge per unit length. Suppose this is having Q charge, or what the letter you have used in earlier case, that is before the lockdown we have done this. Which letter you have used, capital letter Q or small letter q? I think you have used capital letter Q. That and this distance you might have, length you might have taken it as delta L. So therefore I can say if delta Q is the charge present in the length delta L, then I can say linear charge density is nothing but charge per unit length. See here, density is nothing but mass by volume. Correct? Mass by volume, that is just density. Here it is linear charge density of charge you are writing. So you are saying linear charge is nothing but charge per unit length. The one more concept we have finished is surface charge density. In this surface charge density, you have considered one surface having the area delta S might be. Then surface charge density is nothing but charge per unit surface area. Charge per unit surface area. If this is the surface area and the charges present inside this plus Q or minus Q, it is one and the same. Q, then charge, surface charge density is lambda is equal to delta Q by delta S. Then next concept, here you have used sigma, I think. One more, linear charge, volume charge density. For this volume charge density, rho is equal to one volume. Let us consider delta Q be the charge present, then delta V be the volume. Then I can say rho is equal to delta Q by delta V. Do you remember this? This is nothing but amount of charge present in the volume delta V. So therefore I can say rho is equal to delta Q